Look, let me tell you something straight. Today's silver price isn't just numbers on a screen, it's a mirror showing how most Americans are losing control of their money without even realizing it, because while the headlines scream market surge and retail frenzy, the big investors, the ones actually moving billions, are sitting back, calculating, waiting. And that gap between what they see and what you see is where your financial reality dies slowly every day. Every paycheck, every late-night Amazon binge, every swipe of a credit card that leaves you wondering where your money went because you think, I'm just one person. It won't matter. But here's the truth. It does matter. It matters that you're watching this. It matters that you're still holding that retirement account that's bleeding in slow motion. It matters that you have $35,000 in student loans, $1,500 in credit card debt, and you're barely covering rent while inflation eats your paycheck. And yet you still scroll for entertainment instead of education. You still wait for someone else to tell you when to buy, when to sell, what to hold, and that hesitation. That's cost, that's risk, that's the invisible tax your procrastination is charging you every single second. The gap between your fear and their strategy is millions in potential lost profit. And it's not just about silver, it's about the mindset that makes you retail. Not strategic, reactive, not proactive, because while you check CNBC and follow Twitter threads for a tip, they've already run the algorithms, hedged positions, shifted assets, and positioned themselves in ways that guarantee they benefit from your panic, and you can see it, you can feel it, when your small trades tank, when your portfolio underperforms, when you sit in your car thinking, how do they always know? And the answer is simple. They see the patterns, they anticipate the moves, they prepare for the chaos you're blind to, and you keep telling yourself it's luck or timing or coincidence, but it's discipline, knowledge, and patience. 3 things Americans are forgetting while living paycheck to paycheck: pretending side hustles will solve a systemic problem, pretending a single stock pick will make up for decades of financial negligence. And that's why today's silver price is more than a number. It's a test, a reflection, a scoreboard of who's playing the game intelligently and who's being played. Because while retail buys on hype, big investors buy on strategy, on macro data, on flows, on understanding that every inflation report, every Federal Reserve comment, every geopolitical tension is a lever to be used. And you're still reacting, checking Robinhood after a stressful shift at work, thinking a 2% move is a win while they're compounding gains quietly in the background, silently increasing their net worth as your excuses compound. And this isn't just about silver, this is about how you handle your life, because the same habits that make retail weak in investing make you weak in everything. Indecision, delayed action, ignoring long-term pain for short-term comfort, and yes, comfort is lethal when money is involved. It anesthetizes your sense of urgency until one day you realize you're $45 $200K behind retirement. Credit card interest has drained tens of thousands, and you're still asking, should I have bought silver when it dipped? And that regret hits harder than any market crash because it's irreversible. It's a life statement. It's proof that you were present in time but absent in action. And here's what most Americans fail to understand. The markets will not wait for your courage. The economy will not pause while you collect yourself. Inflation will continue. Interest rates will rise. Geopolitical instability will wobble commodities. And silver, this so-called safe haven, is only safe if you understand it before it becomes everyone else's panic. Because while retail watches charts for confirmation, big investors are using charts for preemption. And preemption is what separates wealth from stagnation. It separates confidence from stress. It separates people who sleep at night knowing their money works for them from those lying awake wondering how they're going to cover rent, healthcare, tuition, and the same habits you tolerate now, the delayed research, the impulse decisions, the herd mentality, are the same habits that will cost you hundreds of thousands if not corrected immediately. And you feel it, don't you? That anxiety creeping in every time you see a market alert. Every time you read about a potential crash, every time you realize your emergency fund is laughable, every time your neighbor bought silver quietly while you debated memes online, that feeling is your potential screaming at you. Your potential saying wake up or continue being powerless, because power isn't given, It's seized, and it's not just about money, it's about identity, about taking control of your financial life before it takes control of you. It's about owning the fact that your decisions today define your comfort, your stress, and your freedom for decades. It's about confronting the guilt of missed opportunities, the pride of underestimating yourself, the urgency of time slipping faster than your raises, the curiosity to understand what the big investors see, the self-reflection forces you to question if your financial strategy is real or just a fantasy, the fear of remaining average, and the fear of waking up in 10 years wishing you had acted now, and all of it collapses into one brutal truth. If you don't take ownership of your money, your habits, your knowledge, your courage, no one will. And yes, it's uncomfortable to face that because it's easier to scroll, to excuse, to pretend silver is just a commodity, that investing is just luck, that retirement is decades away, but the truth doesn't negotiate, the markets don't care about excuses, and the clock doesn't pause. So you're left with two choices: stay retail forever, reacting to the fear and greed of others, letting your potential erode while others grow, or step into the uncomfortable. Study the flows, understand macro pressures, watch silver not for hype but for insight, act deliberately, and embrace the identity of someone who doesn't just follow the herd but anticipates it, controls what they can, hedges against what they can't, and builds a financial life that survives crises rather than begs for mercy. And if you think you can wait for perfect timing or more information, you're lying to yourself, because perfection is an illusion and opportunity waits for no one. So your first step isn't a trade, it's a confrontation with yourself, an acknowledgement of every dollar wasted, every decision delayed, every fear that's kept you average, and then, only then, can you act decisively, intentionally, and with eyes wide open, because this isn't about silver, it's about whether you will finally take responsibility for your money, your future, and your life. Whether you will continue being powerless watching others win, or whether you will step up, claim knowledge, claim strategy, claim control, and live in a way that the retail you has never imagined. And that's the point. The market will keep moving. Inflation will keep ticking, crises will keep appearing, but the person who owns their identity, their choices, their courage will always find opportunity where the weak see only chaos. And right now, the pressure you feel, the anxiety in your chest, the guilt for past mistakes, the curiosity you can't shake, the pride itching under your skin, the fear whispering in your mind, all of it is screaming one thing. The choice is yours, the responsibility is yours, and the moment you delay is the moment you forfeit not just profit, but self-respect, freedom, and the life you were capable of building. In the silver market, the economy, your bank account, they are all neutral. They do not reward hesitation. They do not forgive weakness. They only reflect the habits you cultivate and the identity you embrace. And when you step back after watching this video, ask yourself brutally, are you still waiting for permission? Still waiting for luck? Still letting fear guide you? Or will you finally face the truth? See what the big investors see. Act with discipline and become the version of yourself that never has to worry again, because the only thing standing between you and that life is the raw, uncomfortable, relentless ownership of your financial reality. And that choice right now defines everything.